All right, happy Friday, everybody. Today we are looking at the cars that come with one of the Kato Christmas sets, and this Sunday we will look at the engine that they come with. This is kind of a two-parter, so let's just jump right in. Since Thanksgiving is this week, I figured it would be a good chance to look at start looking at some of my Christmas trains, and this is going to be probably the best and first option I would go to. Today we're going to look at the cars for the set, the Kato Christmas set. I believe this is the 2016 release. And this Sunday we will go ahead and go over the engine. So two-parters, so buckle in and we will talk about these things because they're actually pretty cool. I went ahead and pulled the number 3 car off the layout, and we will just zoom in on these and take a quick look. There are the front 2 cars. There's nothing special compared to number 3, but we'll talk more about it when we get to it here. There's the polar bear car and the Santa car. Just zoom in a little bit closer here. There's not a whole lot of fine, minute detail, but these were painted this way in real life, so it is probably simple for a reason, and the ads are easy to read. If you hear it rolling there, these have metal wheels. They're nice and smooth and relatively light for what they are. I'll move the camera up just a touch here. And there's the number 2 car, or whatever you decide it is, the Santa one. Same idea. Nothing super special when it comes to the paint itself. Not a whole lot of fine detail, but honestly, for what it is, it looks really nice. But let's go ahead and just pull back a bit and look at the number 3 car because it's where the really cool stuff is and we can talk about it. Okay, so now that we're looking at the number 3 car, paint is about the same as everything else. Like I said, it's nothing super special to write home about. It just looks nice. But as we pull into the trucks here, they are a tad plasticky looking, but they do have really nice detail compared to some of the other trucks I've seen out there. Let's just go ahead and start rolling this thing back. We'll just take a quick look at it. This is really the cool part about this car, is because we have metal wheels, we are ready for lighting from the factory, and they go ahead and, just like all of the Chicago Metra, they've got the red and white on the back there, the like caution paint, and the lights work from the factory. Now, this is set up to kind of be on all the time, but I opened this up and it would be really easy to get a Digitrax decoder that just has light functions to put on there, and you could have this set up on the same address as your engine, so when you put it in reverse, these lights come on. It would be really cool. Super simple. As a matter of fact, you could probably just use an old decoder of any type just to do that. I know I have several dead decoders that lost their motor functions and still had light functionality, so that could easily be done. These don't have any interior lights because the windows are painted over, so very simple to hide the decoder in there, so that would be a really cool project, and maybe I'll even do that in the future here. But let's talk about runnability, because sometimes with these larger cars you can run into issues. And let me turn off the track power so don't mess anything up here. But Kato did an awesome job with these things. They are relatively reliable in most cases. It might be kind of nitpicky because Metra does run things in reverse quite a bit. These don't like to go through some of my tighter turnouts in reverse. Maybe if some weight was added to them, that could change. However, there's a little bit of a give and take there. This is meant to run with one engine, and you can actually get, I think it's 2 or 3 more cars that work in this set. Now, if you did that and you're still running the single engine, if you weighed these cars down and you had any amount of grade on your layout, you're probably going to run into issues with that single, I think it's an FP40 off the top of my head, is going to struggle to pull those up any grade. keeping them light the way they are with these metal wheels that run nice and smooth, it can handle all those cars up most grades. I didn't have any problems on my 2.5, 2.6% grade. So there is a reason why they're light, and I get that. And knowing that this is probably more centered around something you're going to run for your kids instead of hardcore operating sessions, I'm going to give it a pass and say that it's probably that way for a reason. But Kato definitely got something right on these that some other manufacturers don't necessarily do. Now, keep in mind these are still running their Kato couplers. Always remove the horn on the coupler down there if you can. It makes them coupling to other engines together. They just tend to work better, in my opinion, that way. So I always recommend doing that. But when you do get these coupled together, there we are. Kato has done a good job getting them to sit nice and close to one another. Now, because this is a rear car, it is meant to interface with an engine and runs a little bit longer coupler. And this is totally acceptable car spacing in my opinion. However, if you were to swap this over, move this car to the other side, and go car-to-car interface, that is some excellent car spacing. And I've ran these down to, I think it's 9 3/4 is kind of the standard loop that a lot of these come with. Functions absolutely perfectly on my 12 and some change loop on my layout. But before I had that, and I was running these on a 9 3/4 something, they look a little funny, but they definitely function. So Kato has got the geometry locked on these things, and they function really well on pretty much any track. So that right there, that is pretty awesome, and I really appreciate Kato getting that right. I don't know if I can talk about price on these because that'll kind of be part of the engine review because this is a kit, but the companion pack where you get the other two cars that would run with these generally run about anywhere from $70 to $125. So I don't know if I would pay that kind of money for it, but maybe at the $70 mark shipped, if you could find it for that. I'd put these in the $35 range and complete a set, but the value of these with the engine in that, the engine pack or the one that comes as a starter set is a totally different animal. So I definitely want to talk value when we get to the engine, so I will leave that for them, but just know that these are really good cars, and I think you're really going to like running them on your layout. And when we get to the engine review, I will mirror that because it's actually a pretty good engine as well. So thanks for stopping by, everybody, and bearing with me because this is a little bit different than what I planned on doing, but hopefully, since Thanksgiving is this weekend, you probably just ate all your turkey and you're feeling a little chubby like I am all the time. Black Friday is here, and Cyber Monday is on the way, and there's probably going to be some deals on these sets. So come Cyber Monday and you've watched the review for both of these, try to find it because I really think you guys are going to like these Christmas sets. So not made anymore, but there's a lot of them on eBay right now, and hopefully there's going to be some fire sales. So I'll see you guys this Sunday for the review. Hope you had a good turkey day, and happy hunting this Monday. Bye now.